My name is Emily. I come originally from Australia, but I've also lived in Sweden for 10 years. I came to Italy because while I was in Sweden I worked in an Italian restaurant and I fell in love with the cuisine, so I wanted to learn more. 𝘈𝘂𝘐𝘂 was actually recommended by a friend who is from Bologna, and I came and ate here and really enjoyed the experience and the food and the wine. And so I sent an email to Alberto to see if I could come back, and he said yes. I was in Norway for a short while, and I also was in Portugal for a while, but mostly in Sweden for 10 years. I started in Stockholm, and then I was on an island called Gotland off the east coast, Gothenburg, which is where I worked in the Italian restaurant. I was also in Malmö, which is in the very south. And then I was in 𝘰𝘪𝘍𝘍, which is up 200 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. 𝘰𝘪𝘍𝘍, it's called. Tiny town with 30 people living in it outside of the ski season, so it's right on the Norwegian border. So if you know the Ice Hotel in Kiruna, it's about 60 kilometers west of there. In Australia, the most common, we don't really have cooking schools. There are a few private ones, but most people don't use them, so we do apprenticeships. So you go to school one day a week at a high school, but a little more advanced, and then you work the other 4 days a week in a restaurant. So that's how I did my training in the kitchen. My education is actually in international politics. My first paid job was in a French bistro in Melbourne, which is where I did my apprenticeship. 𝘈𝘂𝘐𝘂. The end of June. So I came at the start of June for a trial, and then I came back and started after the holidays here. But I'm just on a short-term contract because obviously I was living in Torino before I came here. So I'm just trying to see different parts of Italy and learn more about each regional cuisine. I am unclear on that. I think at the moment I'll have at least one more, maybe two, in a different region, I think. I love the north, I love the mountains, so hopefully Trentino or Friuli, Venezia, or the Valle d'Aosta. I want to travel first, which is why I'm in Italy, but when I settle and go back, I will go back to Sweden. So I don't know when that is though. For me, the most interesting part is the fact that it's quite traditional. So I learn a lot more about Italy and the Italian cuisine in Emilia-Romagna. As I said, I worked in Torino before. It was a little more modern restaurant, so I didn't learn as much about Piemonte as I have about Emilia-Romagna here. So for me, that's probably the most interesting, just to get to know more of Italy and Emilia-Romagna. I was at Consorzio, Ristorante Consorzio. It's an amazing restaurant and amazing people, and I'm grateful for the experience, but yeah, it's a lot more mixed, I guess, as well, because the head chef is Sicilian and the owner is Piemontese, so it's kind of a fusion of the two cuisines, which was interesting in a way, but yeah, I definitely like the traditionality that is here at 𝘈𝘂𝘐𝘂. I was actually doing that this morning and learning to actually roll out the pasta with the rolling pin, the mozzarella, and yeah, the different shapes and the different fillings and the different traditions, you know, the tortellini, the tortelle. So it is a lot of fun, and that is my goal, is to use it in the future in what I do.